Hello everyone. So in the previous video we have seen that we have created different entities and defined the relationship. We have written the migrations, we have written the models, and we have seen how the database associations we have established using SQLize migration. Okay, so this is what we have done. This is just for an example, and I will show you this is how our ERD looks like. We have order, customer, payment, product, tag, and this is the many to many relationship which is having product ID and tag ID. Okay, this was just for to make you more comfortable with the SQLize and different queries, migrations, and all. So now I can just remove all these migrations because this is not what we are going to do. Okay, let me just create it in the branch. Okay, now what we are going to do is we will revert back these changes to our old one because here we are going to write a Blogger application. Okay, so in that Blogger application, let's remove these migrations. We don't need them, and we'll use our old one model. Old models like we have post tags and all. So I will just remove it temporarily. Yeah, reverting our models, old models, we have post tag, tags, and user. Okay, now let's coming back to our GraphQL implementation. We have created a server. Now we'll define the schema. So schema we can define inside SRC resolvers, and schema we have already created. So the schema will be divided into multiple entities. We have a user schema, post schema, tag schema. So instead of creating a one single file of schema, we will be dividing that into the multiple files, and here we will be merging them. Okay, so you just need to extend the base type and keep creating the new schemas. Like here I will just create a user.js, and this user.js schema will extend the existing one. So in the existing one, that means okay, I will just define the base schema type and we will extend that. So I have created a user.js, and extend type mutation. Okay, now here we can define our schema, like what all user entity is going to have. I'm just extending the base type query and base type mutation. So individually in the different files for user, for tags, for post, we would be able to create their queries and mutations. Okay, so here I can define, so I'm talking about first user. Okay, so user will be a type user. I have already talked about all these different types, how to define them, and in the type what all I'm going to have, like ID is of type int. Okay, which is not null. You have to provide this ID. First name, which is of type string. Last name can be option, and we have email, which is of, I will be just writing it for the first one. After that we will be just going ahead. So posts here, first let's deal with the user entity only, then we will create a nested types. So currently I'm just covering only the user information, and there can be created at and updated at another two columns, and this is the date type. You will get it from scalar types, predefined scalar types. Right now in the query, what all APIs we are going to trigger on the user, like all user, fetch post, all tags, fetch tags, right? Because user is having the association with the post also. So in future you will be getting the posts also, and in that case you just need to define one type which is posts. Right, either you define this type here or you define that type in the post.js which we are going to create. It will just inherit from there. So this is user, we can have post. So in post we are going to have ID, title, slug, content, all the same attributes whatever we have defined in the model. Okay, status boolean required, string, ID is integer. And in the queries, like for a particular post we can like fetch post, fetch tag, fetch post, create post, get all post, all these can be queries. Okay, mutation, in the mutation we put only those things when we are creating things like create user, update user, add post, update post, delete post, add tag, update tag. All these things will go in the mutation. And queries where you are actually fetching the data like get user, get all post, get all tags, all these we'll put in the tags. And we have created these separate files just to isolate the query and mutation of these different schemas. So here I will be using you can rename it to fetch post. Now what we have a tag. So tag.js will have same story. I will just add it from the post. We have to extend the base type. So tag is another type. In the tag we can say what all attributes we have in the tag is name, slug, description, posts and all. So this is my tag entity and it is have, so tag will belong, for tag will also have the posts. Okay, this is an array of posts we are going to have, and then query and mutation we will add later. So the major entities we have to deal with a user, post and tag. Right, now we can independently write the query and mutation for individual entity. There will be no conflict, but these types will be shared. Like post is not defined here, but post is defined here, so it will be shared. The tag is not defined here, but tag has been created here, so it will be, you will be able to share it and you will be able to get it. You don't need to define these independently. You are just creating the base schema and we are importing one by one. So here you can just import these definitions in this file index.js and put that in the module.exports. Okay, so this is our post. What will be the query for user? Let's try to identify all the queries for user and then we will try to talk about posts. Okay, queries can be all user, fetch user, basic things, I hope. Like in the query, what all query is all user. It should give me the array of user. Fetch user based on the ID, it will give me a single user. Okay. Similarly, we will be just writing the mutations, which will be like add user can be one mutation, login, register. We will have mutations like login. Login will take two argument, which is username, email and password. Email is of type string, which is required, and password. Okay, and it is returning the string as a token. That's fine. Okay, now we have a create user, and here what you need to pass: first name, last name, email, password. These are the two attributes, and just add few more. Like we have first name, it is not required property, and once you are done, we will be returning that created user. Okay, similarly we have update user, add user. I mean register is already there, so it is creating the user in system, login. Then update user is another one. If you wanted to update a user based on particular entity, then you can update it. Okay, yeah, so login, create user, update user. So these are the mutations we identified only for user entity. Then these same kind of entities, same kind of query and mutation can be there in the post. The only difference will be here you will be dealing with the post entity, not user entity. So in the post you can just say, if you talk about queries, all post, I want you to get all post in the system, and it will return you the array of post. Okay, fetch post, instead of user I will be doing fetch post, and I will be passing ID and it will give me the post entity. Okay, fetch post all post, that is fine. And here you will be writing a mutation for add post, update post, delete post. Okay, so I will be writing one thing. We don't have a login mutations here. We can just do add post, and what all input you need to add in the add post: title, content, and status. Title, content, status means you are publishing it or putting this on hold. It is of type boolean, and that's it. And the tags will be like what all tags you are adding. So it will be integer array. So this is little tricky. Here you will be, because you are creating post is going to have a tags, so tags will be of integer array, and it is required. Okay, and once it is done, it will return you the created post. Okay, similarly we have update post, and you can provide your input and it will return the post. Okay, so these are simple mutations we have added. I hope this example is helpful for you guys. So we have a base type. Now base type we will just importing the post and user in our schema, and this schema has the queries and mutations. Now the implementation of these queries and mutation will be in the resolvers. Once this particular query and mutation gets hit on the GraphQL server, then what code we are going to execute, that we will put in the resolvers. And resolvers can also be defined separately for everything, like for user resolver, post resolver, tag resolver. So tag resolver will take care of the queries from tag. User resolver will take care of the queries and mutation from user. So here we see that there are 2 queries and 3 mutation. So we'll be defining that in the user resolver. Okay, that we will cover in the next video. Thanks everyone.